Hey, what's up YouTube? So I'm here to showcase an Oakensoul heavy attack build for the Magicka Nightblade. This build utilizes only heavy attacks and therefore no light attacks are required. Furthermore, this build parses 84k on the trail dummy and is optimized as best as possible for group content. This is not a solo build, but with maybe a skill change or two, it should work fine for overland as well. Please use these builds as a baseline, as there are many viable gear sets and skills in the game to customize how you want to play. With that being said, here's the build. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a Magicka and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a high elf. High elves have probably some of the best passives for Magicka DPS. For the food, we do have a couple of different options. First is running tri-stat food, which is going to give us health, stam, and Magicka. And if you want to push for a little bit more damage, you can run bi-stat food. Artem pickled fishbowl is probably the best bet, but a way cheaper and pretty much just as good alternative would be running just bi-stat blue food like Solitude Salmon Millet Soup. For the potions, since we are a heavy attack build, we are going to have tons of sustain, so you don't really need to use potions to recover Magicka. But what you can do is you can run tri-stat potions as a pseudo heal or even just to fill up your stamina. For CP for the blue tree, we're going to be running Exploiter, Master at Arms, Weapons Expert, and Deadly Aim. For the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces Sergeant's Mail paired with 5 pieces Stormmaster, 1 piece Slime Crawl, and 1 Oakensoul. So breaking it down in the main hand, we have a precise lightning staff of the sergeant with a poison damage glyph. For the head, we have 1 piece light slime crawl and divines with a max mag enchant. For the chest, we have 1 piece of sergeant's mail and divines with a max mag enchant. For the rest of the body, we have 5 pieces of Stormmaster, all traded in divines with max mag enchants as well. For the jewelry, 2 pieces of sergeant's jewelry, both traded in Bloodthirsty with spell damage enchants, and lastly the Oakensoul, Bloodthirsty with a spell damage enchant as well. So for the skills, we're going to be running Merciless Resolve, Unstable Wall, Concealed Weapon, Twisting Path, Impale, and Incapacitating Strike. So for the rotation, keep up Merciless Resolve and fire it off after every third heavy attack. Your Twisting Path and Unstable Wall are going to be kept up dynamically. Concealed Weapon is just slotted for the passive damage boost we get when we use Twisting Path. And lastly, our Execute Impale is there, so you can weave in heavy attacks and an Impale past 25%. And then for your ultimate in cap, use when all of your dots are down and your bow proc is ready. So a general tip is when you're holding down your heavy attack, just input 1 or 2 skills and then go straight back to heavy attacking. So for closing thoughts, first up, I want to point out that I did use a flame glyph instead of a poison glyph. It did just a little bit more DPS. Furthermore, we're not running Elisus on this build because we just didn't have enough bar slots for it. So if you do need off balance, you can use your concealed weapon for guaranteed off balance as long as you're flanking. So we are doing the Twisting Path concealed weapon combo, where Twisting Path is going to give us major expedition and then concealed weapon is going to give us a damage boost. So those two paired just took up too many bar slots. You do have to note that when you do use Twisting Path, you have to be within a certain range. I think it's like 8 meters or something. It's not very far, so there's that. I think the flex spot would probably be concealed weapon or impale, depending on which one you want to sacrifice. And if you want to be a little bit more at range, because in cap is melee range, so you do have to come in every time you want to ult, you can go shooting star for a little less DPS, but you can just fully stay at range. So for gear alternatives, there are 4 other heavy attack sets you can use: Undaunted Unweaver, Undaunted Infiltrator, Infallible Mage, and Noble Duelist. So the thing about Undaunted Unweaver and Undaunted Infiltrator is they don't have the best 2 to 4 piece bonus, and the heavy attack boost that you get from meeting the requirements is only 1645, which is a little bit less than Noble Duelist and significantly less than Sergeant's Mail. So for Infallible Mage, this is a good source of Minor Slayer, although Oakensoul does provide that for us, so we don't need it. The 5 piece only adds 900 extra heavy attack damage, which is far lower than any of the other heavy attack sets. It does affect enemies with minor vulnerability, but it just doesn't add enough DPS to warrant it. So last up is Noble Duelist. If you need more penetration and you want to go like light armor on the body instead of medium with Stormmaster, you can go Noble Duelist. It has okay 2 to 4 piece bonuses, and the 5 piece bonus is actually really strong, but the drawback is you have to be in melee range, so there's that to consider. But any of these sets would work just fine. And that wraps up the build explanation section of this portion. As always, thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. Link is in the description. As a reminder, if this video helped in any way, please help the channel grow by subscribing and liking the video. I will also have a written guide in the description for those who would prefer that. And lastly, I've also started a channel membership for those who like to go the extra step to help support me so I can focus on more content creation. And as always, feel free to stick around for the attached parse. If not, have a good day and see you in the next one.